The gate agent reaches under the counter and pulls out a bright orange tag. You recognize it instantly. It's the gate check slip, the one everyone tells you not to worry about. It'll be waiting for you at baggage claim, they say, already looping it around your handle. In 2026, that moment is far more dangerous than people realize. Nothing feels wrong. Gate checking is framed as helpful, voluntary, even courteous. You're told it saves time, prevents overhead bin chaos, and guarantees a smoother boarding process. The line behind you is growing. The bins are full. Handing over the bag feels like the smart move. That confidence is the trap. Gate-checked bags do not move through the same system as checked luggage. They enter the process late, travel under tighter timing pressure, and have fewer safeguards when something goes wrong. Once the tag is attached, control over your bag leaves you immediately, and so does your leverage. This is where most travelers misunderstand what they're agreeing to. Gate checking isn't just a convenience choice. It changes how your trip is classified inside the airline's operation. Responsibility shifts. Recovery options shrink. If the flight is delayed, rerouted, or swapped to another aircraft, gate-checked bags are the first to be deprioritized and the last to be reconciled. The evidence shows up in patterns. Passengers don't connect. Bags arriving late even when flights land on time. Valet tags missing from carts. Passengers waiting at baggage claim while their luggage is still sitting behind the jet bridge at a different gate. When that happens, there's no escalation path. Gate-checked bags don't always receive the same tracking updates. They aren't always scanned at the same checkpoints. And when they miss a flight, the system treats it differently, not as a lost bag, as an unresolved handoff. The consequence at this stage isn't permanent loss. It's exposure. You arrive without essentials, medications, electronics, documents. If the bag doesn't appear, you're suddenly dependent on promises instead of systems. And compensation rules are murkier here. What feels like a courtesy service quietly strips you of protections you assumed still applied. What makes this especially dangerous is how normalized it's become. Frequent flyers gate check without thinking. Airlines encourage it. No warnings are given. And because most of the time it works, the risk stays invisible until it doesn't. And when a gate-checked bag goes missing, the problem isn't just the bag. It's how little control you have left once the system decides it's no longer urgent. The belief that makes gate checking feel safe is simple. If the airline takes the bag at the door, the airline is responsible for it. You assume the handoff increases accountability. After all, they tagged it, they touched it, they promised it would meet you on arrival. That assumption used to be mostly true. In 2026, it's increasingly unreliable. The reality shift is that gate-checked bags sit in a gray zone between cabin control and baggage operations. They're handled last, moved manually, and rushed through a compressed timeline that leaves no room for correction. If something goes wrong, the bag isn't lost in the system. It's misaligned with it. This is where travelers misunderstand responsibility. When a checked bag misses a flight, there are established recovery paths. Scans, transfers, automated reroutes. Gate-checked bags don't always enter that same pipeline. Many are tracked differently. Some are logged late. Others are recorded only at handoff points that disappear once the door closes. The evidence shows up when flights don't go perfectly. A delayed departure shortens the window for loading gate-checked bags. A last-minute aircraft swap changes cargo capacity. A tight turnaround forces prioritization. And gate-checked bags are often the first items cut when time runs out. When that happens, the system doesn't stop the flight. It doesn't hold the door. It accepts the miss and moves on. The consequence here isn't just waiting longer at baggage claim. It's how little recourse you have when the bag doesn't arrive. Gate-checked luggage is sometimes excluded from expedited delivery promises. Claims take longer to open. Tracking updates lag or never appear at all. This is where frustration turns into disbelief. You did everything right. You followed instructions. You handed the bag directly to airline staff. And yet the response you get is softer, slower, and less certain than if you'd checked it earlier. That's not an accident. Gate checking shifts urgency away from prevention and toward resolution. And resolution is always slower. The system assumes you'll wait, that you'll file a report, that you'll be patient. What most people don't realize is that this shift affects future trips too. When a gate-checked bag requires follow-up, it's logged as a handling exception, not a failure, an irregularity. Those irregularities accumulate. The next time you fly, the system is quicker to suggest gate checking again, even if bins aren't full, because the risk has already been normalized. That's how a one-time inconvenience becomes a pattern. And this belief that gate checking increases protection is only the second layer to fall. Because there's another assumption people rely on next, one that feels even safer, that gate checking can't hurt your boarding status, your seat, or your ability to get on the plane at all. That next assumption feels logical. Gate checking might affect your bag, but it can't affect you. Your seat is assigned, your boarding group is set. Handing over a bag shouldn't change your place in line or your right to board. In 2026, that separation no longer holds. The reality shift is that gate checking changes how the system sequences you. Once your bag is removed from your custody at the door, your boarding is no longer treated as independent. Your movement and your bag's movement become linked under time pressure, and that linkage introduces risk the system manages by reordering priorities. This is where experienced travelers get caught off guard. You don't see it happen. The boarding pass still scans. The zone is still called. But behind the counter, the system is tracking whether the bag made it onto the aircraft. If the answer isn't confirmed quickly, the algorithm adjusts. It doesn't wait for certainty. It protects the schedule. The evidence shows up in subtle but repeatable patterns. Passengers who gate check are boarded later than expected. Seats are reassigned when bins close early. Standby clears before unresolved gate checks do. None of this is announced. It's procedural. When a gate-checked bag misses the loading window, the system has two options: delay the flight or detach the bag from the passenger. In most cases, the flight wins. The bag stays behind and your status shifts with it. The consequence here isn't always denied boarding. Often, it's instability. You're asked to wait while the bag is located. Boarding continues without you. Your seat is marked provisional. On full flights, provisional seats don't last long. If the bag issue isn't resolved before final counts are locked, the system reclaims the seat and reallocates it. This is how people lose flights without ever being told no. From the outside, it looks like bad timing. From the inside, it's risk management. The system cannot afford uncertainty at the door. Gate-checked bags create uncertainty late in the process, when tolerance is lowest. What makes this especially dangerous is how automatic it is. No one is punishing you. No one is annoyed. The process is simply optimizing for departure. And when optimization happens, anything unresolved is sidelined first. This is why some travelers swear they were skipped during boarding. They weren't skipped. They were deprioritized while a dependency remained open. And once that happens, arguing doesn't help. The gate agent isn't deciding whether you deserve the seat. They're waiting for confirmation they may never receive in time. If it doesn't arrive, the system closes the door and moves on. This belief that gate checking can't affect boarding collapses quietly, without warning. Because there's still one more assumption people make, the most dangerous one of all, that even if something goes wrong, gate checking can't follow you beyond this flight. The final belief people cling to is the most comforting one. Even if a gate check goes sideways, it ends with this flight. A delay, a claim, an apology, and then everything resets next time. In 2026, that reset rarely happens. The reality is that gate check irregularities don't vanish once you leave the airport. They're recorded as handling exceptions tied to your booking path and your passenger profile, not as blame, as signal. And once a signal exists, the system adjusts how it treats similar situations in the future. This is where the consequences compound. A late handoff becomes a note. A missed load becomes an irregularity. An irregularity becomes a pattern. No warning, no email, just sequence. The evidence shows up on later trips in ways people don't connect. Gate agents are quicker to suggest checking your bag again, even when bins look open. Boarding assistance appears earlier than it should. You're asked to wait just a moment more often while others move past. Nothing dramatic happens, but tolerance tightens. This is how travelers lose invisibility. Invisibility is the ability to move without creating questions. Gate checking creates questions late in the process, when time is tight and patience is thin. Once your profile has required intervention before, the system treats recurrence as likely, not accidental. The consequence here isn't punishment, it's friction. Friction means fewer recovery options. If weather compresses the schedule, your bag is more likely to be separated again. If an aircraft swap happens, your dependency is more likely to be detached. If a tight connection looms, your seat becomes provisional sooner. What makes this dangerous is how subtle it feels. People assume the airline is being cautious, or helpful, or random. They don't realize the system is optimizing away from uncertainty, and that gate checking late is one of the biggest uncertainties it manages. This is why arguing at the counter never works. The decision isn't emotional, it's procedural. The moment a bag is removed from your control at the door, the system treats you as a coupled risk. And coupled risks are resolved by separation when time runs out. Most travelers don't connect the dots because most of the time nothing goes wrong. The flight departs, the bag arrives, the memory fades, but the record doesn't. And once the record exists, future trips start with less slack. That's the real danger of gate checking. Not the missing bag, not the inconvenience. It's the quiet way it teaches the system to stop waiting for you. Because there's still one unresolved question hanging over all of this. The one that determines whether gate checking is ever worth the risk at all. Here's the decision most people never realize they're making when they hand over a bag at the door. They're trading control for convenience, assuming the system will protect them the same way it does earlier in the process. It doesn't. The truth is that gate checking only works when everything else goes perfectly. On-time boarding, no aircraft swap, no tight connection, no weather compression, no staffing hiccup. The moment even one variable shifts, gate-checked bags become liabilities the system resolves by separation, not accommodation. This is where the risk finally becomes clear. Checked bags move through a planned pipeline. Carry-ons stay under your control. Gate-checked bags exist in between, and the system has no incentive to protect the middle when time runs out. When departure pressure rises, the priority is always the aircraft, not the dependency attached to it. That's why the smartest travelers avoid gate checking entirely, not because they're paranoid, because they understand how late-stage risk is handled. They protect their margin. They keep control of essentials. They refuse to introduce uncertainty at the one point in the journey where tolerance is lowest. The consequence of getting this wrong isn't always obvious. It's cumulative. A missed bag today, a provisional seat tomorrow, a tighter boarding window next month, less flexibility when something goes wrong. Each instance teaches the system the same lesson. Waiting for you costs time. That's when travel stops feeling smooth. Not because the rules change dramatically, but because the margin you used to rely on is gone. And once margin disappears, even small disruptions become final outcomes. This is the real reason gate checking is dangerous. It doesn't fail loudly. It fails quietly, by conditioning the system to move on without you. If you want protection now, it doesn't come from trust. It comes from avoiding late-stage dependencies altogether. Because the system doesn't remember apologies. It remembers friction. You've been watching Terminal Insider, where the rules change before travelers notice. Subscribe because the next checkpoint is already closer than you think.